Okay, hello everybody, welcome. This is an experimental video about the blog I'm gonna make. The blog is about is in Dutch to start with. I'm Coach Voetbayer and we're gonna see how it works. So let's show you guys a bit with how I use my mindmap software to make my blog, inspire you guys how you could do that as well. Explain something first. I'm coach trainer, training in different fields. I'm now working on esports as well, so that's why you'll see in the that corner, that that corner over there, that corner over there, that corner over there, because it's mirror image. It's not there. It's there. It's there. It's there. It's there. It's there. Because of my width of my camera, I have to point this way. This way. This is my Xmind software, and I have put in a link there. To my little cursor over here. Esport link. There has to be a link between the blog and what I'm about to tell you, like yeah, in the blog, and esports. Esports is something completely logic for me as a step, but for some people that don't know me, a very different one. I've been in the IT for a long time, and I've been in martial arts training for a long time. And these things in my head, because it's a lot of still in my head, it's coming together in these blocks, and these blocks merge out into streams and vlogs as I progress, so videos. So this video is all about this step-by-step process. You have to start somewhere, and this is the first step. So first, what I did, I made a big list, and it's not even here on my desk, so it's somewhere else. A big list with all kind of tips I would recommend people during my trainings, coachings, seminars. Um, those are like mottos, like a sentence, and those sentences are built. They say a lot of things. So not only the word, the sentence itself says you something, but it's your interpretation because you read it, and I got an interpretation of it as well as I read it, and I wrote it myself. So next step is to unclear what's in it, and still because it's Dutch, people in Holland can read it, right? But I got slowly more and more viewers in international boundaries, you'd say. So I have to get rid of those boundaries and get yourself also familiar with the Satori-Do. This is my own company. I built it. So I bring in some of my entrepreneur skills as well, and just some skills I picked up during the way. Got some of my water with me. One of the things I'm um, telling a lot of people at this period now, drink a lot of water because it's getting hotter here in Holland, and it keeps your throat from being dry, right? So this is my 23rd tip. How to yeah, how to get help for yourself to get successful, to live in freedom is eventually the sort of end result. And you can do all kind of stuff. You got all kind of goals, like being free as an entrepreneur, being free as a sports guy, being free to do whatever passion you have and bring it into a reality, right? Uh, there's a lot of stuff written about it and made videos about it, and maybe these things I combined together with what I did, what I used, and eventually I want to pass it on and help other people getting their lives sorted out like they want it. Uh, so what we're now gonna do is use these mind map software as like the creative process to make a sort of image. And I already had an image here. I'll just drag it over my face here, like a big nose. This image will be eventually about a different subject, not new successes. If you're reading this Dutch, then this is new successes. This image will be there. Oh, um, but then about this subject. So I have a certain steps I do, and I'm just gonna show you guys. So I copy paste this in my mind mapping software over here, and paste it into a floating topic. So I double click my screen here and paste it there. So because of the streaming, I do wanna, maybe I can enlarge it a little bit as well. Do that the other side. Yes, so enlarge it a little bit. So you guys still be able to watch it, and I'll just make myself a little bit smaller. Hello, guy. I'm still there. I'm still talking with you. The base of the tree is rooting into me as you watch this picture. I just copy paste every of the associations I had with reading my own line. So I was sitting there at my desk thinking this tip. Okay, this tip is about certain things, and what topics do they use? Well, I will set them up first and then I'll translate them as well. So they keep me just copy paste them, and this is how I do it. I made these steps just in sitting in my chair outside on my balcony. Pretty nice, eh? Good workspace, right? I like it. So yeah, I tend to talk a lot. Don't try to remember everything. Just pick up the things you hear in it, I would say. Oh, it's already fake. Well, it gets clearer when you use this software. So um, it's still a floating topic, so it has to be has to have a name. So I'll just put it in here, and of two words. Two words. So, name, two words. These nodes here. I switched these nodes here are just for me to put it all together. Um, the sentence itself, all these topics about it, make it visual for people. Uh, so and clear a bit about mind mapping. Mind mapping is like what things pop in your head when you're reading a certain word or certain sentences this way. And you just the words they pop up, you put them into this like little cloud, you could say. I could even for you guys to show you. I'm not going to go into details of all this software, but if you want to use this software, then you can choose for a cloud. There you go. We got a cloud, and we got all these words around it. Well, just change the structure towards something around it. Oh, there you go. So the creative process already been done, and I'm making it a little bit more visual as my software does what it needs to be done doing. There you go. Go over here. So don't get screwed over by all these Dutch words. If you can't read it, don't try it. Just listen. I will explain things as well. And this name of two words, I'm just already in a creative process at this moment. I do have one that's called new successes, and this one is success of value. So success in Dutch of successes out of values. So you got values as your person, and these values are your own. So this word here, this outlined word, is your own values, your self-esteem in a sort of way. So we could put here self-esteem, but it's not really about this topic. Self-esteem is another topic of another blog. I just tend to do multiple blogs, and for you guys, Again, clicking on the right button. There. I just type it over here. If you go to simonvandriel.com, there you will find my blog. So now we got a word. I'm not sure if it's being the end result of the one word, two words that are used to like getting this message over. I wanted to tell you guys through this line. To make it a little bit simpler, I'll just try to translate this sentence through my own words. So if you look back to your goals you reached and look which values were important for you, then put these values in a mind map, like this picture here, and go and put all these words you associate with it into this program, and there from coming out new ideas, new creativity, new stuff that eventually get into goals. So the word doelen is goals in English. And most of the things that pop up, the successes you had, eventually they came from the past. So it is verleden tijd, past. It's going into this mind mapping, and the process is around this mind mapping software as well. And then it's handy to have the second link, xmind.net. That's the software where you can get this software. This software itself I'm using it right now. It's xmind.net. It really works out. There are multiple versions, multiple types, but this one I'm used to use. I like it for myself. Changing the visuals, not always work out for the best. But we could do this. So all kind of way how you want to show your text. There you go, like this. Okay, so we got goals, we got past, mind mapping, out of the box. Yeah, you can read it already. Out of the box we do use in Holland as well, like thinking outside of your boundaries. Uh, thinking in freedom, I would say. I always say. Aanpassen is adapt. So you want to adapt to the things you are made your successes from, and the values you use, and adapt to it. And I will already write down that esports is an adaptation around my successes. And the connection there is between the esports and my successes, connecting towards the passion for gaming and training, coaching. Pardon me. It's already quite out of the box. So you have your passion in gaming, you have your passion in training and coaching, and in my mind, in my world, my reality, it comes together into esports. So esports is already an end result. We have also the how do I build this blog in brackets. This is a problem part. There's a part of the solution. And there we go. You have the tip. The tip, right? And that's again the tip we start with. So let's say start with tip. This is how we do it. Tip, problem, part of solution, tip, training, coaching. And that's because a lot of stuff we can read, we can interpret it into our own lives, but you do it with your, because they say it filters. Filters you already have. Problems you think, oh, it is. Oh, nice. You got, I think, Koens here doing his pitch there. So, pretty awesome. Um, got more and more connections in it, so getting into the line of work, the line of passion we share. Both are gamers and passionate entrepreneurs, I would say. So there we go, at word passion. I already explained it. It comes out through all the steps you take, and more and more people are doing it because in this new age, with the fourth internet, uh, it's eventually how you can connect with each other. Internet age, just put it like this. And already see that when I'm talking and I'm thinking in Dutch and English, there is a disconnection through it. So I'm not gonna completely make my blog during this recording, test recording, but we're just go with the flow, I guess. Your own values. This was this word. Don't do that. Then being successful. Successful, right? You can read it probably. Just the vol is full in Dutch. And this is how to get it visible. So with this mind map, you are not only get it into your head, but you can look at it. You can look at it, and that's pretty important for a lot of people nowadays. And I will talk with this as well. NLP, visual. Thinking in English and write in Dutch. Pretty awesome. Plaatjes. And and audit auditief like is like are. So for the people that are more of auditive people with hearing, the words reading. To make their own picture of picture. So this is about like visual people. They have a lot with the mind mapping with pictures. You could say it's a collage, like a map with all kind of pictures. But this one, and I'm one of these guys. This one, just underline it. Um, the words we are describing here, making the picture as well. And this is like a preference. It's about everybody gets an what call it advantage, voordeel, advantage, to getting yourself successful, because this, what I said before, it's just preference. It's not something that somebody needs to do it. You can adapt into different types, being a visual person, being somebody with auditive preferences. You also have kinesthetic, that is more a feeling. Well, you can touch the screen or whatever, but you can touch the screen with the other hand, but that doesn't really connect. So we definitely have to talk face to face. That's for those people very important. Let's just put it there. Kinesthetic people will eventually also make a picture for themselves, but it has to be or physically experienced, or they have to take it a little while to get it from their system into their feeling, their guts, their intuition. Those people are more of an intuition people. Those people are very good at keeping one point though, but that's something from another blog. By the way, the idea is also to make these blogs into the tips I already made. I just will going to unclear them only. Just I don't have to make it like now. It's kind of hard for me to do making blog itself, and also um, talk with you in English and write it in Dutch. So pretty advanced stuff here. Then there is this word, and this one is the most important one. So it maybe could be in this. Um, this could be also the word choice of success. Choice to be successful, right? Because with this tip, you have your successes already. Everything, a lot of these stuff you do are sort of success or for the feedback, and then if you connect those to your values, you find important, they'll give you more choices. Those choices are pretty important because if you don't make any choice, you're in doubt, probably. As well, you will never get your success via the most effective way. Well, there you go. We have our problem. The problem is um, to get your goals. It is not that easy. If you want to do it, this easy via effective and an aware way of doing things. A lot of your successes are made reality. unintentionally making choices is not completely true. So, I wrote down here like choices that you make are um, should be something that's been supported by your values, what you think is important, and those are mostly the best choices, right? You do it them like from intuition. It plays a big part. And this software, this mind mapping, mind mapping also supports you with it, and that's probably something I would go and tell you in here as a training coaching part. That's the one. Then you want to know why it's happening and how you can get it yourself. And that's something we have to discuss person by person because it's so personal. We can do this talk. Well, you're slowly getting there. But the thing is, we don't really look at what we succeeded in. And the problem is often that we don't look back at our successes, and therefore we cannot learn from them or how they have been developed into this success. Um, Part of the solution is part of the problem, right? And there's also a cause. Let's see what the cause is, right? The cause is multiple things. So we don't allow us to be happy because it's sort of a normal thing. Um, this is it's not completely true because we always have a good intention. We are aware of our intention as well. But the thing is that eventually a lot of people do things unaware and they eventually have success and like this is like normal. This is what I do, but it's not normal. It's something you really accomplished with taking certain steps. For example, this esports. This is something. Your steps. Stuff like the meanings you need to have to eventually get into this game, into this game of esports. Game. You got it? Well, it's eventually you have to have the meanings for it, like talent and teamwork. So we now slowly using these words from the mind map into this text, right? So we still have a thing called out of the box we didn't really mention. As a part of the solution to use your out of the box imagination, and it's used by the mind map step. So eventually that gets you into this mindset of out of the box thinking. And those steps are eventually, if you know how this mind mapping software works in your system, you eventually go there. And then the tip is if you do this mind mapping software, the mind mapping, all these steps, looking back at your successes, and the association part with these steps, you eventually will integrate it into your system, and you will going to act like it to it. And there you go, there you go, and there your choices are turned over into new goals, and eventually these choices, the goals, and the values go into your success. Well, this is the first part of my process. The last part I'm gonna show you guys here, because now I have to reread it and make it polish it a bit so it gets into a blog, and I really cannot do that, but also talk in English. Maybe in the future blogs in English will be a bit handier through this phase, but that's all okay. For now, we keep it like this. The last part I'm just going to show you guys is if you use this mind mapping software, you can go zoom in. I think it's drill down, so I use F6 and my keyboard. There we go. Now it changes a bit in the structure, and I'm using this cloud already, but I want to change the format. Change the format. There you go. Um, into another style. I think the surrounding things is very good. Shape. I don't understand the shape. Shape is underlined. Ah, there we go. Yeah, I was looking for this underlined because we want to have it like letting go was the mind map before it. I already used these, so I'm not gonna use them now, but the boundaries around it makes your reading of this mind map also bound with boundaries. So it does support this process. So I'm just gonna do this like this, but we already have a cloud, and let's see if we can change something. So the structure is already different. What can we do about the names? Oh, like this is already cloudy as well. Like, you see it? This one is getting into shape. Another shape. Yeah, okay, it's thick words. It's good. Search for success. I'm not sure if it covers the complete thing. And also do, sorry, these words also should have something of an, this is what you eventually get out of it. So you make the choice for your success. Well, it is getting there. And this is like the creative process still, and also putting in the tip and the words into one structured little story about this subject. So I'm just gonna keep it like this for now. We could change the color though. Give it all kind of colors. I don't want to keep it like this. Nope. So the words itself should be darker. This one. It's like a bit vague, right? If I then change the cloud a bit less. Well, there you go. It pops up now because we changed the colors a bit. And it can be a vague process because it is the step of creation. Is there's not really something there yet, but it are the steps with the choices you're gonna make, with the values you're gonna use, that eventually get into new successes. And those successes build up into your goals. There are other mind maps about these certain, like I would say, it's a piece of the puzzle, and all these pieces fit into to each other on different subjects. One thing I'll tell, if I go back up, I have to export this file, by the way, through this zooming in process. To forget to mention, so I just put it. I'm not gonna export it now because I'm still looking at if this is the correct thing. I will alter it later on, but I will make it an SVG file. Then I can remove with Inkscape, another software. I'm removing the background so it fits on my system. And all these details. But that's not what this movie is all about. It's about this thinking process, how to make your mind map, and starting with the tip, getting this process of creating the text and eventually put it in the mind map. So if you enjoyed this video and you are using YouTube or Twitch, then please press the follow button to support me and therefore support others. We are eventually getting into the um, so it's not English, internet, not age, tijdperk. Something also good to tell. I forgot what I want to say, so I'm just gonna keep it for now. Thank you for watching. If you have any feedback or positive, negative, please send it my way, and I can see what I can do with your suggestion. And if you want to have certain topics being talked with, there is a button in a lot of social media towards my Discord, Satori-Do Discord, and we can talk with each other about it as well. This is it for now. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys see you later. Later.